Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending upon where you're at. I want to ask you a question. What does it take to be a leader? Is every physician a leader? Do we come out of medical school as leaders? These are all very interesting questions, aren't they? We all come out of training, out of residency or fellowship, and are thrust into leadership positions. We all have some leadership qualities to have made it that far, right? We have knowledge, we have self-control, we have some degree of time management skills. We wouldn't have made it that far without those. But we may be lacking in the more important skills of people leadership. We may have a difficult time setting boundaries, either with patients or with families, or vice versa. We may not understand that we can and must set boundaries with administrators. We may not know how to communicate with administrators, which can set our career back or handicap our entire career. Yet many of us don't have those skills 10, 20, or even 25 years after graduation. You can learn them at any time, and I'm here to help with that. You see, much of it boils down to communication skills. It's also based on knowing yourself and knowing the person across from you. I teach all of this from a perspective of personality science. Personality science dates back to Hippocrates 2,500 years ago. 2,500 years ago, he figured out that he could take the entire human race, divide them into 4 groups, and treat them with medication differently based upon which group they were in. Now, we don't medicate that way anymore, but we still use this theory in behavioral sciences and in psychology, so it's still valid. What I use is called the Bank methodology of personality science, and I do believe that every single physician can be a leader. So let me demonstrate to you how the Bank methodology of personality science shows up in the hospital setting. Now, BANK is an acronym that stands for Blueprint, Action, Nurturing, and Knowledge. Blueprint, Action, Nurturing, and Knowledge. And of course, I don't have my green screen on, but somehow the green one still disappears. So the blueprint, the first one, we use the color blue because the blueprint is a little bit of a cooler customer. They value things like systems and processes and rules, their rules, not necessarily the rules, but their rules. Everything has to follow the rules, usually their rules. They live by those rules. And in the hospital, this would be the administrators and the managers. They like titles and credentials, and they don't like risk. And they live their entire lives inside a box. Right? You're starting to see it come together already, aren't you? Yeah. You've seen these people in action. Now, the next personality type is the action personality. And we use the color red because these people live their whole lives like they just drank Red Bull for breakfast and they dress like they just came off the red color carpet. And these people are celebrities, at least in their own mind. And in real life, they tend to actually be real celebrities, professional athletes, actors, musicians. You don't see a whole lot of them in the hospital, but when you do, they tend to be the larger-than-life surgeons or the always-on ER docs. They value things like excitement and flexibility and, I'm losing my notes here. Opportunity and competition. Attention? Yes. These guys live their lives completely outside the box. They're the total opposites of the blueprint. And because they can't live life large, In the hospital, you don't find a lot of them in medicine. And when you do, they tend to stick out like a sore thumb. But yeah, they live their lives completely outside the box. This brings us to our next personality type, the nurturing type. For them, we use the color yellow because they're warm like sunshine, sweet like honey, and they have a heart of pure gold. The nurturing type value relationships, authenticity, teamwork, community, ethics, and morality. And while they value in people currency, you can't pull the wool over their eyes, and they are going to get you on your morality and ethics. They neither live inside the box nor outside the box. These people are said to recycle the box. And what you'll often see in the hospital setting is that they bring the box in filled with muffins, and they take it out filled with cans for the local food drive. You see, these people are our nursing staff. That brings us to the fourth and final personality type. And again, my card is disappearing, but it is green and represents the knowledge type. These people value science and logic and learning and intelligence and research and development and expertise. They also are neither inside nor outside the box. They are best known for engineering the box. And all of our physicians fall into the knowledge category at some point. It may not be their first primary code, but they're all high in knowledge. And yes, I just said that it may not be their first code, which brings up another point. We all have all four codes. All of us have a 4-digit code. Let me do it this way. Maybe that'll show up. We all have a 4-digit code. So you can't just go into a department or an area of the hospital and guess somebody's one code, because we all have a 4-digit code, which means there are 24 possibilities as to someone's code. And if you're going to guess, you only have a 4% chance, a 4% probability of guessing it correctly. So the objective is not to guess someone's code. The objective is to find out someone's code and then learn how to communicate with them in their proper code. And so what we're teaching in this symposium that's coming up, what I'm offering to you is to teach you how to communicate in someone's code. Teach the communication, teach the relationships, teach negotiation based on that code. And so here's what I want you to do. I'm having a symposium toward the end of this month, June 18th and 19th. Now, ordinarily, I only offer these symposia to large healthcare organizations with roughly 20 or more providers. And it is a 2-day thing. But what we're doing is we're going to offer this to individuals. We're going to offer this 2-day symposia to individuals. And it's called the Key to Humanity. And what we're going to do is we're going to teach you the key to relationships, the key to communication, and the key to negotiation. Basically, the key to humanity. And why? Because when we've done this, is people have come to us and they've said that this has made them a better parent. It's made them a better spouse. We know for sure that it helps you communicate better with your colleagues, with your coworkers, with your patients. We know that. We also know that if you don't do this, this is going to cost you money. As an individual provider, it can cost you tens of thousands of dollars a year. As a healthcare organization, depending on the size of your organization, it's going to cost you at least $1 to $2 million a year, but maybe even tens of millions. But for this month, we're going to open this up to individual providers and individuals who aren't providers, who just happen to be watching this, because we know it works. And how do we know it works? This has been validated by San Francisco State University. They've validated that bank is real, that it's authentic, it's not a copy of something else, and that it actually does what it says to do. So what do I need you to do? I just need you to comment below, Key to Humanity, and we'll get you into the course. All you have to do is go to the bottom in the comments and comment Key to Humanity. And we'll get you into our special 2-day symposium. Yep, I'm starting to trip over my words. 2-day symposium where you can learn to communicate with others based on their bank code, build better relationships, set boundaries, build a better business, build a better marriage, communicate better with your kids, and learn the key to humanity. I'm Dr. Nan Nessel, and I'll see you next time.